Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on NHL playoff evening for a little bit of a preview of the BC Hockey upcoming AGM. We'll do a little bit of an introduction as we go along, but we have 4 people that will present information as a little bit of a preview of our big event in about a week and a half's time. My name is Bill Ennis, and I will be sort of leading through this presentation. What we would like to accomplish tonight is 9 little agenda items. In total, I think probably about 30 minutes of your time. And then if there are questions, you can certainly use the chat box on your screen, and we can either gather at the end or we can deal with those questions as sort of a one-off tomorrow or whenever the time might be. To start off, we will do a little bit of an overview, a little bit on location and registration, information agenda, social items, a little bit on our seminars and on the business, and introduce the director nominees to you. And again, just a little bit of a conclusion. In total, probably about 30 to 45 minutes worth of your time. This is a very high level, I guess, overview of the schedule of events for the annual general meeting. I just wanted to flash that on the screen to give you an idea of the time commitment for any of your delegates that are going to attend the AGM this year. Best if you can register on the Friday afternoon, and I say that based on experience, that it will give you more time to make sure that you are in all the sessions and know where you're going and they're on start time, etc., etc. But Friday is a night of presentations and workshops and panels, followed by social to finish it off. Saturday is a very big day. Basically, the breakfast, which is grab-and-go breakfast this year, starts bright and early, 7 a.m., and sessions all begin at 8. So I would take some time Friday evening to make sure that you know where you're going, make sure you know where your seminar rooms are, and be ready to go at least 8 a.m. on the Saturday morning. Saturday is a long day. It really never quits. You go from your seminars and maybe the President's Breakfast into the Silver Skate Awards, into business again in the afternoon, and then finish off with our banquet and dinner and socializing after that. So you have to be prepared for a relatively long day on Saturday. To dig deeper into these subject areas, I would I'll go to the second slide, and we will go to the delegate and seminar registration, and I'll turn proceedings over to Carla Soares. Carla is the Director of Finance and Administration of BC Hockey, and she has worked for the most part on the registration end of things. So Carla?
Thanks, Bill. Good evening, everyone. I'll be reviewing the AGM logistics and registration details. For BC Hockey members that have not registered to attend, this can be done online from our website at bchockey.net. Delegate registration, additional banquet tickets, and seminar registration is all completed online. The event is being held in Sun Peaks, which is approximately 45 minutes outside of Kamloops. All the AGM activities will take place at Sun Peaks Grand Hotel and Conference Center. With the exception of 2 seminars, the Safety Risk Management seminar will be held in the Kahilti Lodge just next door, and the second portion of the mentorship seminar will be at the outdoor rink. The AGM will be on June 9th through 11th, starting at 2 p.m. as Bill had mentioned, on Friday with the trade show booths and registration. and wrapping up on Sunday morning with a grab-and-go breakfast. There is a possibility of elections for the Board of Directors being held on Sunday if we run out of time on the Saturday during the business session. This is not likely, but the facility requires us to end the AGM business on Saturday afternoon by 5 p.m. to be able to switch the ballroom over to the banquet. Next slide, please, Bill. It is important to make sure that once you arrive in Sun Peaks, you visit the delegate registration table to collect your delegate package and accreditation tag. The accreditation tag will be required to get into the business session as well as the banquet and items like that. So make sure you pick those up. And the table will be set up in the main lobby at the hotel. Registration will be open on Friday from 2 to 9 p.m. and again on Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The AGM voting registration is a separate process from the delegate registration. This is where you will pick up voting cards and election ballots. The voting registration will be open during the same time frame as delegate registration at the table next to the delegate registration. So just make sure you see both tables when you arrive. Prior to picking up voting cards, BC Hockey members need to ensure they have applied and been approved for membership for the 2017-18 season, ensure that all fees owing to BC Hockey are paid in full, and have your signed voting form with you or have it sent into our office prior to the event. And just one thing on the form, please note that each AGM delegate can carry a maximum of 3 votes. So for the AGM voting form, on the screen is a sample AGM voting form. Each BC Hockey member has a unique form which is available to you upon completion of your membership application. The organization name will be populated on the first line automatically. The sample form shows 3 different ways to complete the form depending on whether you are a minor hockey association, a district association, or an above minor team or league. Note that the specific delegate name who will be carrying the votes needs to be added to the form. The final step to complete the voting form is to have the signing authority for the organization sign off on the delegates listed above. That's all I have for the registration. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Sean Orr. He's our Senior Manager of Leagues and Events for a review of the agenda and the social events that will take place.
Thanks, Carla. So to start off, I just wanted to touch base on where you can find things or find information about the weekend and during the weekend. So right now, all of our information is located on our website, BC Hockey website, under our AGM page. From there, we've posted all of the information that has been sent to the membership over the course of the past few weeks, and will be updated there during the course of the weekend. In addition to that, the home page of the BC Hockey app has been updated with this information and will be updated as well as we progress through the weekend. During the course of the weekend, if at any time an update is required to be sent out to the full delegates, we will be utilizing the email addresses that have been provided. We've been diligent in making sure that we have the correct email addresses so we can deliver that information to everyone. This will be in addition to adding anything that's done to the website and the app. In addition, we'll be sending daily emails in the morning. These emails will outline the day as well as provide you with some tips and hints of what you can prepare and look forward to as we progress throughout the day. As well, up until the AGM and to the Friday, you can contact the office during the day or email our info at bchockey.net account or AGM account, and we'd be more than happy to assist with any questions that you may have. Now, looking into the schedule of events over the course of the weekend, you'll see there we have Friday, and it's already been touched on what we're looking or what to start with the delegate voting and registration. The Friday evening is going to be dedicated towards holding our 4 sessions from 5:45 till about 8:30. So that's going to be a welcome and an introduction to the weekend festivities. It's going to go into then the 100th anniversary update and World Junior Planning. So providing everyone with an update as to where we sit and provide a behind-the-scenes look as to where we've got to and what was part of the bid that was successful for the 2019 World Junior Championships. That'll then head into cross-ice programming update, where we have 3 speakers who will provide updates focusing from a national perspective, branch perspective, and then from a coach perspective. That'll be followed by a multi-sport and alternative seasons presentation, which will then head into our panel session, where we'll have 4 panel members that will have an MC go through about a 30 to 40-minute session with some questions that have been provided, and as well as an open mic session for questions from the crowd. And that will then end the Friday as we head into our social reception that will be held in the foyer just outside the ballroom. Looking into Saturday, we've already touched on the grab-and-go breakfast in the morning. The morning has been slightly adjusted than from years past, where we've lengthened the president's breakfast. The agenda has been finalized and will be distributed to all the presidents. The agenda will include various presentations and an update or a chance to meet the candidates who are applying for the board of directors. We then have our slate of seminars that'll be happening throughout the morning, and Carla's already touched on those. That'll then come to us, and we'll get to the Silver Skate Awards, where we'll have some lunch, and then we'll honor all of our branch BC hockey champions with the Vancouver Canucks. Then we'll have a short break. We'll get the room set, and we'll get into the AGM portion of the weekend, where we'll run through the financials, resolutions, and elections, as Carla has already noted before. Following that, we will have our pre-dinner social from 6 to 7, which will be held in the foyer outside of the ballroom. The doors to the ballroom will open up at approximately 6:30 for people to enter. It's a ticketed event, so we'll be checking tickets at the door. At 7 o'clock, we'll begin with our awards banquet. We'll have our MC give a 10 to 15-minute introduction, our year in review, recap of the year, and then we'll go and present the awards from the year to some very worthy people. That'll finish at about 7:45, which will then dinner will commence. Following dinner, there'll be a social afterwards, same as we had last year, where we'll, for those that are wanting to stay in the ballroom for more of a quiet atmosphere and some light music and talk. As for those that are looking to have a little bit more fun, there's an establishment that is approximately a 5-minute walk from the facility, and we'll have signage up and ensure everyone knows where they need to go. And then finally, looking at Sunday, again, Carla noted if the elections will need to take place on Sunday morning, that'll be scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. If not, there's a grab-and-go breakfast for everyone to have before taking off from Sun Peaks. Now at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy Ainsworth, our Director of Operations.
Great, thanks, Sean. This year's AGM will host 5 seminars, and we really strongly encourage your associations to take part. Our Coach Coordinator Seminar will be led by Aaron Hoffman, who's our BC Hockey Coach Coordinator. This seminar is designed for the MHA head coach or coach coordinator. Key topics here involve seasonal planning, coach coordinator duties, NCCP clinic requirements and the hosting process, and Adam and below best practices, with an emphasis, of course, on cross-ice. We'll go next slide. Actually, sorry, stay there. Our Coach Mentorship Seminar will be led by Craig Shrabati, BC Hockey Mentorship Lead. This seminar is going to focus on the education of coach mentorship, instructional stream, and professional development points. There'll be another session that focuses on the best practice for the Minor Hockey Association tryout process, and I strongly encourage you to take a look at that and make sure that your association has somebody representing you at that seminar. Next slide, please. The Referee-in-Chief seminar will be led by Sean Raphael. He's the BC Hockey Referee-in-Chief. This seminar will include an expert officiating panel with individuals from other sports to discuss communication, professionalism, and dealing with conflict and harassment. We'll also take a look at the BC Hockey Cross Ice program from an officiating standpoint, and other resources will be reviewed that will enhance local grassroots officiating programs. Moving along to safety and risk management, Ann Deach will lead this seminar. She's our BC Hockey Safety Coordinator. The seminar is designed for the Minor Hockey Association Risk Manager, and it'll deliver the ins and outs of the Hockey Canada Insurance Program with a presentation by Senior Manager Todd Jackson of Hockey Canada. We'll also have a pretty strong focus on concussion awareness this year, along with parent education. And last but not least is the Female Development Seminar. It's going to be led by Brianna Davey, a BC Hockey Program Manager, and Suzanne O'Rourke from Smithers Minor Hockey. We encourage your association to send a female coordinator or a relative position to the seminar, as it'll focus on a review of information that will assist in the promotion of female hockey development, and also have a workshopping session that will be great for the sharing of best practices. As Sean noted in the schedule of events, all seminars take place Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and end at 11:30 a.m. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, Jeremy. We'll now turn over to the presentation on the BC Hockey Business, or what we've called BC Hockey Business, and that begins at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The first matter of our review of business is financials, and I would ask Carla again to speak on this topic.
Sure. During the financial report, the BC Hockey CEO, Barry Petrochenko, will review the audited financial statements from the 2016-2017 fiscal year that were distributed to the membership on May 29th as a bulletin. The financial statements are also included in the AGM proceedings that all delegates will receive at the time of the registration.
The second matter of business is the notices of motion, or resolutions. This year we have approximately 38 resolutions and another 2 recommendations that will be handled under new business. Now that may seem rather daunting to do in a couple of hours on Saturday afternoon, but really those are some very significantly large blocks, one of them dealing with the transition to the New Societies Act, and another one dealing with our move, or our continued move to policy governance and some of the things that we're trying to clean up within the bylaws and regulations to deal with operations and policy. So as Carla suggested, you will, with your registration or in your registration package, receive AGM proceedings. In that AGM proceedings is a hard copy of all the resolutions or notices of motion, and so they will be there for your detailed review. If you want a sort of a snap picture of them, they are already located on our BC Hockey AGM webpage, and you can certainly click on that link, and they are there for your review right now. Under new business, we did have 2 matters of business submitted by our members, and those 2 recommendations will be dealt with at the conclusion of resolutions. And then finally, we'll deal with the last item of business, which is elections. And just to explain the election process, we have this year 4 spots for BC Hockey board directors that are open for election. In our call for nominees, we originally received 7 nominees that were approved. So if you were on the BC Hockey website originally and took a look at the nominees, there would have been 7 names. Since that time, we did have one fellow by the name of Matt Fisher who has had to withdraw from being a director. So what we have now is 6 candidates for 4 director positions. They are TJ Babby, Shalina Babul, Chuck Campbell, Brian Harrison, Andrew Jacobite, and Cindy Secord. What we asked our nominees to do was to prepare a short video of 2 minutes or less to introduce themselves to you.
Hi everyone, my name is TJ Babby and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about who I am. First off, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be nominated to serve on the board of directors for BC Hockey. It's something I take great pride in and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Just to give you a bit of a background on my professional experience, I work at the Gustafson School of Business at the University of Victoria, where I work primarily with undergraduate business students, helping develop their co-op journey with them, along with developing the partnerships necessary within the Victoria business community to create opportunities for undergraduate business students and other opportunities between the institution and various businesses in the community. Previous to that, I was the Director of Marketing at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, where I developed a phenomenal amount of marketing and communication experience. I've also worked in various athletic departments, including serving as the Marketing and Sponsorship Officer for the UVic Vikes and for the St. Trojans Athletic Department in Calgary, Alberta. Educationally, I hold a Bachelor of Management from the University of Lethbridge and an MBA from the Gustafson School of Business at UVic. Hockey is in the blood of who I am. It's been a part of my entire life. I've played it for over 20 years, including my time as a Canadian college hockey player where I played for the St. Trojans and won 3 championships as a player and 1 as an assistant coach. I've developed strong ties to hockey in British Columbia and very strong connections within the province and also nationally across Canada and internationally. And I would be very grateful for the opportunity to work with the youth in BC and help develop opportunities for them to grow as individuals. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Shalina Babul and I'd like to take a couple of minutes to tell you a bit about myself and why I'd like to put my name forward seeking election for the BC Hockey Board of Directors. First and foremost, I've been at the BC Children's Hospital for the past 19 years and have several positions in my capacity at the hospital. I'm the Associate Director and Sports Injury Specialist at the BC Injury Research and Prevention Unit. I'm the Director of the BC Children's Hospital Emergency Department Injury Surveillance Program and an investigator with the BC Children's Hospital Research Institute. I'm a Clinical Associate Professor in the Department of Pediatrics, Faculty of Medicine, UBC, and an investigator with the Center for Brain Health at UBC. My area of research primarily focuses on concussions and traumatic brain injuries and the strong need to really standardize care amongst all audiences, including medical professionals, school professionals, parents, players, and coaches. Concussions are an acute, urgent health problem, which some coin an invisible epidemic, and there is a strong need to recognize it and deal with it immediately to avoid long-term disability and in some cases possibly even death. I currently sit on the Safety and Risk Management Committee, and last year at the BC Hockey AGM and the passing of the resolution to mandate the concussion awareness training tool to all on-ice officials, BC Hockey was the first province to set precedents by taking concussion seriously and placing a high importance on the safety of all their players. Since then, we've received countless positive emails on the value of having this online training. It is for this reason that I'd like to put my name forth for the BC Hockey Board of Directors. I believe that prevention and safety should be at the forefront of our minds for not only the 55,000 players in BC, but everyone and anyone else involved in the game that we love to play and watch. We need to build and grow the game in a positive manner and in a way that instills a culture of safety and respect for anyone involved in the game. I thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me, and I look forward to seeing and speaking to you at the upcoming AGM at Sun Peaks. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Chuck Campbell, and I'm running for re-election to the BC Hockey Board of Directors. I'm sorry I am unable to attend the annual general meeting this year, but I am recovering from surgery. Over the last 20 plus years, I have been involved in minor hockey organization in New Westminster as treasurer and then as president and treasurer again. I've also served as chair of the audit committee for Pacific Coast Minor Hockey, as finance chair for Hockey Canada's ESO Cup competition in 2013, and for the last 2 years as a member of the board of directors and chair of its finance committee and risk management committee. When not working for hockey, I am a member of the faculty of the Sauder School of Business at the University of British Columbia, where I teach advanced financial accounting to those who are going to become certified public accountants. Under the new governance model for BC Hockey, it's very important that we have someone on the board who has subject matter expertise in finance. And that's one of the qualities that I bring to the board and will be able to bring to the board in following years, future years, if I am re-elected. My philosophy with respect to minor hockey is that the purpose of minor hockey, like many other youth activities, is to provide a forum to enable adults to pass values on to young people. In order to do that, we have to have the young people doing something that they want to do. It's our responsibility to make the game safe, to make the game fun, and to try as much as we can, consistent with the first two, to reduce the red tape, to make it easy for people to play. That's what I have tried to do in the 20 some odd years that I've been involved in minor hockey. That's what I will continue to do if I am re-elected. I'd like to thank you for your support in the past and ask for your support in re-electing me to the board. Thank you.
I am Brian Harrison, and I am asking for your support as I seek re-election to the Board of Directors of BC Hockey. Prior to being elected to the board at last year's AGM, I served on the executive of BC Hockey as Junior B Director for a number of years. When the membership adopted the new governance structure, I took on the role of Junior Coordinator. During my time on the executive, I was a member of the governance committee and assisted with the drafting of the new governance model now in place with BC Hockey. Over the years, I have served as a minor hockey president, a coach, and referee-in-chief. I had a successful career in education as a supervising principal and supervisor of student teachers at the university level. I believe I was known as a fair and caring administrator who worked hard to make learning a positive and rewarding experience for my students. I was an elected director on the Cowichan Valley Regional District for 15 years. For several of those years, I was board chair. I also served as sports director for the BC Senior Games and as co-chair of hockey operations for the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships hosted in my community this year. I know from experience that in order to be a good board member requires cooperation and collaboration with not only the membership, but also with both fellow board members and staff in order to move an organization towards its goals. As the member of the board of directors this year, I served on the finance committee and chaired the standing committee on conduct, which has redrafted the conduct policy in order to make this policy more relevant to our members, as well as to bring it into conformity with our new governance model. If re-elected, I believe my understanding and knowledge of the policy side of the organization will continue to be of value to the membership. Further, I feel I possess the experience and skills necessary to continue to be a strong contributing member of the BC Hockey Board of Directors. Again, I am Brian Harrison, and I would appreciate your vote as I would welcome the opportunity to serve the membership for another term on the Board of Directors. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Jacobite. I've been volunteering with minor hockey for about 25 years now. Since 2010, I've been on the Board of Directors here at BC Hockey. I'm a business owner, a video producer, and currently the mayor of the city of Penticton. Being involved in municipal politics for the last 8.5 years, I certainly understand process, governance, bureaucracy, and the importance of having a good team. I think the new structure here at BC Hockey has been good. We have sort of the high-level policy thinkers, which is the board. We have the subject matter experts, which is the working groups, which has really enabled staff to go out and execute on the policies, the bylaws, and the directives for the membership and by the membership. Our mission statement is to lead, develop, and promote lifelong hockey experiences. And really, that's what the board should be focusing on. We need to be looking at where it's going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road. The way we coach and teach our kids certainly is way different than when we first played minor hockey. First of all, the game's changed. There's more sporting options for kids. The pressures that they put on themselves, not just from the crazy parents, but from their peers and within their own self-confidence, really dictates that we need to be more proactive on where we're going, what we're providing for programming, and ensuring that the game is fun, that we're teaching core skills, which also translates to life skills. And we're also promoting a lifelong passion, so people are giving back to hockey way after their minor hockey days are over. I'd like to think I've made an impact. I was a good contributor. It's a good balance of good people, and I'm very proud to be part of that. I'm actually happy to see others putting their names forward to help BC Hockey be a leader with sports organizations throughout the country. I think that's a good thing. I humbly do ask for your support. I hope you will re-elect Andrew Jacobite to the Board of Directors here at BC Hockey. Thank you.
Hello out there. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy Secord. I'm currently employed by the Surrey School District. Amongst other duties, I manage a budget in corporate services. Corporate services provides furniture and services to schools and programs throughout the city of Surrey. In addition, I've been at times a commercial fisherman, a stay-at-home mother, a payroll professional, and a bookkeeper. In the hockey world, I've been a minor hockey association executive, including president. I spent 3 years as managing director of female with our district, 4 years as vice president, 3 years as president, providing service and structure in league play to 20,000 players from Hope to Sunshine Coast and from Whistler to Seattle. I've sat on various committees with BC Hockey, including minor committee, governance committee, and female development. I have volunteer experience in off-ice officiating with both Vancouver 2010 Olympics and the IIHF. I have traveled extensively in our province, both by boat and by vehicle, and I'm familiar with the climate, geology, and demographics of BC, from Victoria to Liard River and from Allen to Fernie. I have thrown my hat in the ring for the position of Director of BC Hockey. I'm asking for your support in the BC Hockey elections in Sun Peaks the weekend of June 10th. I believe I will bring value to the branch with my experience, not just as a minor hockey volunteer, but also with my knowledge and interest in youth sport in the province of BC. I understand the Board of Directors as a policy board. I bring my experience to this board with the goal of serving the sport of hockey, minor, junior, and senior, through service on the Board of Directors of BC Hockey. I thank you for your support.
Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to attend this session. Certainly, if you have any questions regarding the annual general meeting, please contact our office. Our staff will be happy to assist you with any questions you may have. And we have a very exciting event planned. We look forward to seeing everybody in Sun Peaks in about a week's time.